your introduction. First of all, I have to apologize because of my voice, but I hope it will keep during the presentation, and I don't need a microphone. I hope our moderator made a short mistake when he asked us to speak only for 15 minutes. I think we have 2 hours for presentations. Might be a little bit longer, yeah. I hope.
20 minutes.
Very good.
I understand this remark very much because I think we should have also some time for questions and for discussions. Yeah, thank you. I would like to, we would like, sorry, me and also my the second speaker, Saska, we would like to talk a little bit about at first at the general topic, a more general way, about the importance of to take up the health trend, or sport and health as a trend for sport development. And as you when you remind the last speech from Brian Martin, I think you are aware that the position, the role of sport for all inside the whole picture of promoting physical activity is not the very best, and we have to think about how to improve it. That will be one part, one message in our presentations, and the second part will be that we will explain a little bit what we have done in the ISCA, International Sport and Culture Association, for this development. You remember this picture from our excellent presentation yesterday. I don't want to repeat it, but you see from the pictures the messages behind that we have already alarming figures about increasing tendency of unhealthy populations because of physical inactivity. And this situation has pushed national and international programs and campaigns on the top rank of a social political agenda all over the world. It has also been mentioned in the presentation of Brian Martin this morning. And apart from programs, actions undertaken by governments and the public health sector, the past few years have also seen numerous national and international sport organizations, particularly in the field of sport for all, which have taken up the social challenge and have offered to contribute to the keeping and furthering of good health. But within the framework of political decisions and discussions on health promotion, the potential of organized sport has hardly been taken seriously. I think this was also a message, I think Brian is here. Oh yeah, this was also a message in your presentation. This had been taken hardly serious. Also, health system professionals recognize the possibilities sport offers with skepticism, or even more with dismissal. But also even within the sports system itself, there are still resistance, there are barriers to get strongly involved. But the situation has started to change in several years. And important political documents on national and international level give boost to sport organizations as well as to other civil society organizations to get more strongly involved and engaged in health promotion through physical activities and sport. In the meantime, the amount of transnational European organizations promoting health-enhancing physical activities and sport is very big, and it's not very transparent. I tried to make an overview of the situation. And I'm sure this list is not complete. Just to give you an idea how many transnational organizations are active in one, all organizations listed in this overview legitimates themselves as civil society obliged organizations in their policy, in their strategies to contribute to a better and healthier life through a more active lifestyle. But we have to be aware that the approach to health enhancing interventions are very different in regard to scale, clarity, seriousness, quality, and the type of intervention. Two recently published European political documents on physical activity for health can be recognized as pioneering for health-enhancing physical activity concepts and programs. These are, you know it already from former presentation, Steps to Health, a European framework to promote physical activity for health, and the second one, especially important for our work, is the EU Physical Activity Guidelines, recommended policy actions in support of health-enhancing physical activity. I would like to quote only one sentence from this EU Physical Activity Guidelines, which give the Sport for All organizations and the sport clubs a specific task and a specific role. Sport organizations contribute to the social well-being of communities and can ease pressure on the public budget. That's important. It's a political document here. Through their versatility and cost-effectiveness, clubs can help meet the need of the population for physical activity. And the next sentence, a major future challenge for organized sports sector should be to offer high-quality, health-related exercise programs nationwide. I have not the time to go in details, but there is a lot of important messages inside these political documents for our challenges. So what I want to point out is that the potential of organized sport is high. But the question is this potential already used enough? In my opinion, not. Why? You may argue that 40% engagement in grassroots sports, or 65% of EU citizens active in some form of physical activity, at least once a week, is satisfying. But still, 1/4 of European citizens is completely inactive. It's still a big challenge to make more people more active. And there are still large variations. That's also very important in physical activity participation according to the European regions. We have a distinct north-south gradient. And also there are differences in according age, social classes, education and income. And there are still large variations within Sport for All associations in Europe according their level of serious engagement in health enhancing programs. This was also a topic yesterday in the talk show discussion. It was also behind the presentations of today. That we need more serious engagement. Even if more and more sport associations have recognized the chance to get involved in health promotion as a vehicle for development, there are still deficits in a systematic approach with a conclusive and consistent program and strategy. This was a key word in the presentation this morning from Heini Parkunen, strategic approach to this development. But the question might be, especially for Sport for All organizations, how to set up a holistic, consistent health promoting strategy? That's still for a lot of our organizations a very difficult question. I think every time a starting point for setting up a strategy is to become clear about the goals of the matter. So in our case, what are the goals? What should be the goals? To take a stand and create an image, to become acknowledged as a competent and powerful partner with regard to health promotion, inside and outside the sport system. That's what I would like, what I wanted to point out before. Our position is not very good, and it's not very satisfying. Inside and outside the sport system. To profile member clubs for being able to contribute to the well-being of communities. To assist, to make fundraising for health-enhancing products easier. To encourage and to qualify clubs to provide health-enhancing activities. To monitoring, approval, compliance, and commitment from leaders inside the associations on almost all subdivisions. I have some experience in not in formulating these goals, but there are some experience with the problems to convince sport organizations, sport for all organizations, to take up these challenges, these strategic objectives. A holistic and consistent strategy has to take different elements into consideration. And here I don't want to go in details, it takes too much time, but only to give you an idea that such a health-enhancing physical activity strategy in a sport organizations is a multifaceted approach. You cannot do only one. I think this was also a key message in Heini Parkwood's presentation this morning. You have to be clear about the intervention approaches. There are different approaches. Walter Brehm has explained a little bit about that yesterday. So, the product development, the exercise programs, campaigns, whatever it is, information, teaching, job consultation. There are different things inside. The organizational, you have to establish an organizational structure for the further development. That's a big problem in the sport organization, with a different view. They have not the internal structure to work with this. You have to find people who will be engaged in this physical activity strategy. Policy development. A very important thing, human resources qualification, and lobbyism and marketing is also a very important element of such a strategy, such a holistic strategy approach. This is just to give you a frame, what it is, what it should be when we speak about a holistic strategy approach. Let me tell you something about ISCAS, what ISCA has done. ISCA has developed its health promotion program and strategy started in 2006 and has implemented step by step, continuously, and I would like to point out interactively with its member organizations and through cooperation with other stakeholders within this field of action, this program